Hey everybody, this is Jared from the Mirror. Just wanted to give you a new devlog update for what we've been working on over the past few weeks. And we've got a lot to cover, so I wanted to first give you a video and then I'll post this on Reddit. And speaking of Reddit, we have a growing community, and so this is up from about 0 in December. So thank you for all the awesome feedback, the excitement, the vision of it, the positive and negative feedback. We truly want to build an awesome game development platform, and we can't do that without your thoughts. So be that positive, negative, criticism, we'll take it. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We've gotten a lot of questions about when are you onboarding new people? And so be sure to check our early access skip the line info here. We have a form that you can submit and we'll be in touch with you. And I do want to set expectations correctly that we're looking at about 2.5-ish months to onboard a new batch of users. And a lot of that is because of server bugs, which I will touch on, but we're super excited to be sending this out soon. I promise we have not had our head in the sand, pun intended. This was from a bug we were working on today, actually, where we were changing our spawn point setup a little bit and also testing with a new terrain setup, with collisions, with object collisions for a preloaded asset that's actually streamed, not built in. And so kind of a lot of complex features at play. And of course, here's my head staying above sand. And so we're still working on a lot of bugs here. And you'll see that there's some changes to terrain too, which I'll shortly touch on. But first, you might have seen a screenshot of ours on the Godot website. So thank you so much to Emmy and the Godot team for posting this. Very excited. We love working with Godot. Absolutely fantastic engine. So thank you so much there. And so with that, we wanted to show you some more screenshots. We've done a lot of work on our sky, on the sun, on shaders, on level of detail, draw distance, pixelation, things like that, as you can start to see here. The random assets scattered around are just assets that we're testing with as we build. And the loading box, as you can see in the distance, that's for when an object is loading, of course, because as I mentioned, we stream some assets, or actually most of our assets in world. So it's all real time with the focus of real time game development. And we've also been working on some night scenes as well. And as you can see, thank you to our team who's made a lot of updates on the sky shaders, fog, stars, and things like that. And then we've also done a lot of work on the pixelation side too. As you can see, here's the old on the left with the shadows not looking so hot, and on the right with the shadows looking far better. There's a lot of like small, low-level tweaks that we're making on the engine. And so these do take a good bit of time, hence why we haven't sent this out to a ton of new users just yet. Here's another one with TAA, where you can see stuff in the distance like these stairs is pretty pixelated, and this tree as well. And now it's looking a lot better. So still making a lot of constant improvements there, which is very important. We want to make sure that it's a good looking engine and easy to build, very good looking stuff. Here's some more fog we're testing at night. And as you'll see, this terrain though is something that we actually decided to remove. We decided to move to more of a height map. It's not exactly a height map, but we ran into a lot of issues with syncing server side voxel terrain. There's just so many, well, it's doable, just that's not our key focus at the moment. I know we posted a lot of videos with it and we were loving the feature, but with the amount of nuances taking when optimizing bandwidth, it was causing a lot of bugs, server crashes, things like that. We decided to take it out at the moment. We'd love to collaborate on possibly working on that more in the future, but just a quick update there. But we can do a ton with more of a height map setup and some more information coming there soon. So this is what it looks from a top-down view in our create mode with the detached camera. And of course, with the name of the mirror, you've seen this image around a good bit. We love it. It's pretty close to our branding. This is one of our earliest marketing images we used. I was at an Above and Beyond concert and they had this playing up on stage and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, we need to go back to this. And so we've been working on some of that for an updated spawn point, and the intention there is that you could walk into one of these mirrors or a portal, and then that transports you to one of your buddies' worlds or a city or any other mirror space. And so more details coming there. And so with that, a few things on the server bug side too that I do want to quickly touch on is we've been working quite a bit as far as making sure that the server is actually stable. And with that, we need good CI/CD processes, continuous integration, continuous deployment. There's a pretty critical Godot bug that we opened. We'd love any help there, but we cannot currently import a scene via the CLI headless right now, which is a pretty key feature, and that's been tricky for us as far as deployments and integration. So we're hoping, we opened a PR for it. We've been digging into it a bit on our end too. Love for that to hopefully get fixed in the future. Another thing too is I've got a few videos. So one feature we recently implemented is shift drag. And this is one of my favorite features from building in Second Life, where you could just quickly select an object, touch shift, pull the handle for which direction you want to copy the asset in, and then right there, then just copy it. So really easy for building. We'll be adding more tools to make building super easy in the future too. As you can see, we also updated our loading animation for pulling in assets whenever that's rendered, because these are streamed from servers, done in real time. And so yeah, we have some cool features there. So we're excited for that. I love the usability. We've also been doing a good amount of work with animation updates with some of Godot's new features that allow us to, Godot 4's new animation retargeting features. We're taking much more advantage of those now, as you can see, with much smoother running where the avatar is looking. We're still working out some kinks as far as like the backpack, for example, and that, you can see it twists a lot, which isn't really realistic, but that's more us modifying our mesh. And so working on that a good bit. And quick side note too, while we're on this, is that we've posted a lot of pictures of us on Mars, but we are not a Mars game. We're a platform. And so this is just one test space that we're creating. And then we'll offer many more, from like desert to snow to forest, jungle, ocean. There's space. There's a lot of cool stuff that we're working on. And also we, for fun, decided to run some VR tests. And so I wanted to give you guys an update here. And as you can see, here's that new mirror spawn point we've been working on the right. So here's some very basic stuff of logging into the same Mars space and with some basic physics. So nothing too crazy here, but we did want to see how well we could work with VR. If that's something you're very interested in on the VR side, definitely let us know. We love your feedback there. And as I mentioned, there's that spawn point kind of looking like the mirror. And you'll be able to place those in world and link to your friends' spaces there. Last thing is, we've gotten a lot of questions on the integration side. And so some of this was pushback. And I just wanted to clear up some confusion too. As I mentioned, we'll be exposing a REST API for every object in world. And so that's so you can integrate any object, such as, could be as simple as that box, could be a car in world, could be a mountain, could be a rock, could be a chat bot, could be, like, the list goes on. We're a development platform, so we want to give the developer the full power to build whatever they would wish. And one of the best ways to do that is by integrating with other systems through APIs. And so one thing, for example, is we'll be exposing here's our open API spec that's exposed via Swagger. And so if you wanted to create a space object, you could run send a post request to the server. That processes and then actually creates the object in world, where you can specify the position, the asset, the rotation, whether it's collision, what type of shape it is, the texture. The list goes on. Then you can also, of course, get information about that. You can copy space objects. And that, really think objects, that's just our internal name. And you can get information about a space, a buddy space, about users. And the idea is that you get full interoperability with other applications. And we view this so this is our REST API integration. And we view this as, hey, we're going to create hundreds of different integrations. REST API is like one of the most foundational. And in a similar way to, like, we use Retool for some internal tools. There's a lot of other platforms like this where REST API is one of many integrations, and then you can also hook into things like directly into a SQL database, or connect to like GitHub, or connect to MongoDB, for example. So a lot of other things that we can do there, integrate with Slack. And so we just aim to offer a lot of those components. And we compared ourselves to a bit of a Shopify for games a little bit. So Shopify has hundreds, over 1,000 plus integrations on its app store. We see ourselves in a similar light, and that's our plan for rolling these out. Is we want to integrate with a lot of other apps, a lot of other systems to build amazing virtual worlds and applications. And so I teed this up because there's been a lot of confusion as far as, hey, are you guys an NFT project? And the short answer, which I wrote on the FAQ, is no, we are not an NFT project. And the confusion probably came for a few reasons, but just to clear that up, as I mentioned, with all these integrations, REST API is one integration we plug into amongst many, and that includes plugging into public databases, which are blockchains. And so you can change the state of a car, for example, based on the state of a smart contract. If the state of the smart contract variable is 0, the car is off. if the state of the smart contract variable is 1, then the car is on. The position of the car changes or the color of the car changes. There's a ton of different things you can do. And so that's where we plug into to give the developer the full power over what they want to construct. And Epic Games takes a similar approach. We're not trying to clamp down one way or the other for whatever the developer wishes to build in world. We also posted the Entrepreneur.com elevator pitch TV show video recently. Thank you for all the comments on there, and thank you to Mike from Game From Scratch for reviewing that. And so I just want to clear up some confusion there. We're not an NFT project. We're not a scam. We're not trying to be that in any way, shape, or form, in any respect. And we want to make sure that we're transparent and build trust with our community. And so that's why I make these videos, why I walk you through these. If there's anything that's not very clear, happy to walk you through more of that. Anyway, I've been talking quite a bit now, and this is a bit of a longer devlog, but we've been working a ton. We're very excited to onboard you and show you what we've got, and we would love your feedback. So with that, thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to chatting more in the future. Join us on Reddit, join us on Discord, come say hello, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you for your time.